Cabo Verde, a case for comparative librarianship. Cabo Verde is a country composed of a group of islands about 350 miles off the west coast of Africa. These islands were uninhabited when the Portuguese colonized them in the 15th century, and the population was created through the mixture of Europeans and the slaves they brought from Africa. The languages are thus Portuguese as the official language, and Crioulo, a Creole language that is spoken commonly in the communities. Cabo Verde attained independence from Portugal in 1975 and has focused on becoming a self-sustaining country ever since. The library system in the country is weak, and there is no LIS discipline. External influences impacting librarianship in Cabo Verde include climate, foreign aid, and education. The climate is extremely arid, as can be seen on the photo on the right. The country experiences frequent droughts, poor natural resources, and has a history of famine, as the island is not self-sustaining in terms of food. This has caused the country to be highly dependent on foreign aid and to focus solely on developing its economy. Foreign aid, of course, comes with its own influence, and Portugal has continued to assist Cabo Verde ever since its independence, including assisting with education. This has caused several Cape Verdeans to study in Portugal and not return, creating a brain drain. Since Portugal itself has a weak library system, its influence has caused the same to be true of Cabo Verde. The government focus in education is on literacy and developing higher education to create a sustainable workforce, and not to create a library system for communities at large. The first libraries and archives in Cabo Verde were created for Portuguese officials during the colonial period. After independence, the government had to focus on sustaining the nation's economy, so libraries took a back seat until 1999, when Cabo Verde's National Library opened in Praia. The IFLA 2007 report states that there are 30 public, 6 university, 10 school, and 2 government-funded research libraries. There is no National Library Association or code of ethics in place. Slowly, other archives and libraries have been added to the country. The National Archives was created in 1988. The West African Institute Library was placed inside the National Library in 2013 and supports the West African Institute's mission of creating regional integration. Jean Piaget University, a private university in Cabo Verde, built a digital library to provide access to resources. However, the link to this library is broken. Cabo Verde also joined the Cape Town Declaration, which supports e-resources, information access as a universal human right, and indigenous preservation. There is no such discipline of library and information science in Cabo Verde. The closest is 2 related degrees offered by the University of Cape Verde. One, a history degree, which provides training in libraries and archives along with several other areas, and another undergraduate degree in cultural heritage management, which can train you to manage libraries. However, there is no criteria for being a librarian and no information about the degrees current librarians hold. Anyone who can read and write is qualified to be a librarian. Currently, libraries are mostly used as spaces for study or for research, usually electronic. The focus is on having digital resources, including the African Digital Library, which provides several databases but has not been updated since 2014. The best equipped library in the country is the National Assembly Library, which supports the workings of the government and includes a large print collection. In 2018, 2 elementary schools inaugurated new school libraries with print books and a focus on the relationship between the child and the book, creating the way for more of an LIS discipline which focuses on services as well as sources. Cabo Verde is an ideal setting for the working of comparative librarianship. My Cabo Verdean contact told me the basis of your perspective does not correspond to Cape Verdean reality. As comparative librarianship attempts to compare and analyze facets of LIS to create a better understanding of how these facets work in different cultures with an aim to improving librarianship, to build LIS in Cabo Verde, we must understand the very reality the people are living in, not just the perceived information needs of this culture. Cabo Verde can be a case study for understanding how Western LIS and libraries can not only be irrelevant but dysfunctional, and for how building a new model of LIS from the ground up based on cultural needs and traditions can pave the way for the true spreading of access to information for all.